Hi everyone, good evening. I wanted to jump on and just have a little chit chat with everybody. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about the weather situation here in the United States. Down south of us in Texas and in Florida, there has been landfall with a hurricane in the last couple of days, and it has been pretty devastating to the people down there. There's still lots and lots of people um, that have been removed from their homes, that are facing power outages, and loss and devastation that come with these type of events. So I just wanted to take a moment to pray for all of those people that are affected. The storms are heading across the country, coming up south. They came through our area today, not as intense as they thought they would, but there's still the potential for flooding nearby where we live. So this is one of those things that's going to go on for a few more days, and it's going to take a long time to clean up. Just like any major disaster, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are mobilized to help people that have been affected, but it's still something that takes a very long time and takes a lot of it takes a lot out of a lot of people, a lot of families. So if we just take a moment and pray for all of those affected. So Heavenly Father, we reach out to you now to put your hands on healing this country in this crisis of weather. We know that it is up to you what happens, and we don't question what you do, but we do ask for your help and love and kindness and caring while people recover from the storm and rebuild their lives. We know that you love us and that things are in a bigger picture that we as humans can never understand. But we appreciate everything that you do for us and all of the love that you have for us. Thank you, Father, for caring for us. In your Son's holy name, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. So, for those of you who are affected, I know there are tons and tons of resources. Make sure that you reach out to them. Make sure that you let people know that you're okay. For people that have family affected by the storm, make sure that you reach out to people, check on people. Same thing just in general with the weather all over the world. I know there's a lot of people struggling with heat crisis, power outages, things like that. It's still going to be a difficult summer, and I know only half of the world is in summertime right now. For the southern hemisphere, I know you're going in wintertime. I know there are struggles with that too. So just take care of yourself, take care of other people, make sure you check in with family and friends, because you never know when somebody could be struggling with something and they may not know who to go to. They may not be, they may be embarrassed, they may be struggling, and they don't want to ask for help. And we need to take care of each other. That's something that's really important, is taking care of each other. There's so much negativity in the world. There's so much of people just not caring about anything other than themselves, and we need to make sure that we take care of everybody, not just family and friends, but strangers. It doesn't matter. Everybody needs something. Everybody has a bad day once in a while, and you have no idea what a little bit of kindness can do for someone. So, just reach out. It makes a big difference. So anyway, hi guys, I am Jen, and we're gonna have just a little hangout tonight. I have Huxley, come here. Trying to get my dogs to come and hang out with us too. Hey, come here. I got a treat for you, bud. No, he's nervous. He thinks you have it. So anyway, maybe we'll get the dogs on in a little bit. But I hadn't been on live very much lately, and I kind of miss it. I love hanging out with people, so I wanted to get on with everybody and say hello. So, um, yeah, like I said at the beginning, there's just a lot of um, hello, self creation. Nice to see you. Good evening or good morning, wherever you are in the world. But yeah, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on all over the place. There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of strife, a lot of issues with people kind of going against one another, and that's not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to take care of each other. Life is difficult enough without adding to it. So just want to make sure that we take care of others as best we can. So we we have been working on videos here. We've been working on trying to keep the dogs calm. They don't like the storms. It hasn't been too bad today. We haven't had any thunder and lightning, but we definitely um, have have struggled with them not liking to go out when it's wet. Our dogs are kind of spoiled. So um, anyway, um, Good morning or good evening, Mark, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for stopping in. If you are new here, this is a channel mostly about, my name is Jen Mark. It's nice to meet you. This is a channel about faith mostly. We do some ASMR, we have dog videos. So if that's content that you're interested in, feel free to like and subscribe. I do have a new ASMR video that will be out this evening. If that's something that you're into, it's going to be a positive affirmation video. You're from the Philippines. That's awesome. I have quite a few viewers in the Philippines, so that's awesome. And it's, I guess you guys have, it's either really early morning there or really late at night there. I can't remember how far apart we are in hours. But it's almost 8 o'clock here, 8 p.m. So I'm not sure what time it is for you. But I have lots and lots of viewers in the Philippines. No, I'm sorry, I do not. I do not understand tag along. I wish I did, but I don't. I'm sorry. So, oh, it's 8:49. Oh, okay. So, anyway, but yeah, we've been watching the weather most of the day. Just it was really supposed to storm really, really, really bad here, as the fallout from the hurricane, but it didn't. So we're very lucky in that regard. That would be fun, Mark. I'm not very good at learning languages. I'll be totally honest, but that would be cool. Like I said, I do have lots of visitors on my channel from the Philippines, so that would be cool. I have an interesting mix of people from all over the world, which is pretty cool. So but my population growth as far as channel growth with the Philippines has been pretty big lately. So, anyway, I am going to be off today and tomorrow still, and then I go back to work. And I'm hoping that it will be a better week this week, after the last couple weeks have been kind of challenging, now that we're through the holidays. And hopefully things will be better. It's been kind of difficult at work lately with freight. So if you're familiar with the trucking system here in the United States, freight has been a big challenge. So that's something we've been struggling with and trying to keep everybody happy, which is always a challenge in that industry. So, can you live tomorrow? Oh, okay. It's always interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mark. Google Translate's a wonderful thing. So thank you. But anyway, so I'm enjoying my days off. We have been trying to get some videos made, and thank you too. I appreciate that. And we have been trying to take care of the dogs and do things like that. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, it looks like there's a bunch of new movies coming out that we're talking about finally actually going back to the movies. I don't know about you guys, but we have not been into the movies forever. That was something that we were talking about. My spouse and I were talking about the other day, was the fact that we haven't been to the movies in probably forever. Mark, I work in the trucking industry, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, feel free, and I will be more than happy to subscribe to yours. But yes, I work in the trucking industry in the office. I'm not a driver. But that's something we're gonna do. Hopefully, my better half and I can go to the movies my next set of days off, since it's very hot here. We're hoping to do a few things inside. And Madison, I'm gonna ask you to deal with that. Madison. Thank you. Anyway, so we're just trying to do stuff inside, because I don't know about where you guys are, but here it's really, really, really hot. I know most of the United States is struggling with that, and I know a lot of the world is struggling with that too. Even Great Britain is having hotter than normal temperatures, though what's hotter for them is not really too hot for us here. But either way, so what else is going on? We are hopefully going to, I'm hoping that I can get Huxley, who is one of our dogs, to do an ASMR video with me. I'm going to try to get him to sit still long enough to record that tonight. He's kind of a wiggly little guy, so we'll see how well he sits still. But I think fur scratching makes a good ASMR sound, so we'll try to get him to lay still on the couch and do a little ASMR. It might be a part ASMR dog video, part human ASMR video, depending on how long he lays still, but we will see. He's usually pretty good on the camera, or our corgi is not. He is terrified of it, so we'll see how well he does. The other two dogs don't care, and they could care less about whether or not they're on camera, but Huxley usually likes to be around when I record, which is nice, except for the fact that if I'm recording ASMR, his collar makes a lot of noise, which kind of ruins the vibe of ASMR. So, but we'll see. And also been trying to do some different kinds of videos in terms of faith videos. On Saturday nights, I will be alternating faith talk videos focusing on Bible study and particular verses, and then doing ASMR on alternate Saturdays. So we'll do a little of that too. And then if you guys are interested in my job in trucking, we'll talk about trucking on Tuesdays. That comes out at 6 p.m. on Central. So if you're curious about what the trucking industry is like, my better half is saying no one wants to hear about trucking. But everyone wants to hear about trucking, because we didn't have people who drive trucks, we wouldn't have anything. And we wouldn't have things to buy in the store, and um, you know, gotta have things to buy in the store. So truckers have to get it there. No matter what the weather is, we have to figure out a way to get it there. Um, so I never want to like out anybody as far as that, but I can tell you guys some funny stories about trucking. It's interesting because when you do like Google Maps, if you use like Google Maps, or other you use other forms of like Waze or other forms of navigation, what you don't see in a car in normal navigation is what is and isn't available for trucks. And trucking routes are very different sometimes than car routes, because of low clearance routes, because of residential neighborhoods, and just certain places that are too close, especially in like New Jersey and some places where there's older um, buildings. It's hard to get trucks in and out. And so if drivers are only using like Google Maps, they'll wind up getting stuck, and it's really an adventure when I get those phone calls. And sometimes the only alternative to get people out is to call the police and have the police stop traffic so that a driver can get unstuck, which is always an exciting adventure. But it's better than physically actually getting stuck. At the previous carrier I worked with, I actually had a guy wedge his truck in between two buildings in an alley in New Jersey, and it required a tow truck to basically to remove the truck between the two buildings, and there was a lot of damage to the buildings and the truck. So those are not fun phone calls. I do like the phone calls with guys calling to ask where they are, because their trucks have GPS location built into them. So in the office, we can see where they are, except they forget that GPS location is usually about 30 seconds behind. So if they keep moving, we just continue to chase each other, and they'll keep yelling, "Where am I? Where am I?" And I can't tell you because you keep moving. You need to stop. So those are always fun conversations. Um, Other great conversations is when we get told that a customer will be open and they're not. That's always good, because if you have a load full of freight and you have nowhere to drop it, it's really hard for you to go pick up your next load. And the next customer usually isn't very understanding that you're not ready to come pick up that load. So those are always good conversations, especially at 3 a.m. when no one is answering the phone or answering emails. So those are the fun parts of my job. Um, my favorite parts of the job actually would probably be some of the more disastrous parts of my job, um, which would be major breakdowns or breakdowns in areas where it's a real struggle to get help, and dealing with accidents. I think people who are in a high stress situation. They need somebody on the other end that's going to say, okay, hey, let's take a moment and, deal with this step by step by step. And the first couple of accidents I dealt with in trucking were really difficult to deal with, just because it's hard to imagine the scene because you're not there. You don't know what the layout of the road is. You can't see how bad the truck is. You're relying on somebody else to tell you what's going on. And there's so many rules with DOT and with different regulations depending on what you're carrying and where you are and if what's DOT? DOT is Department of Transportation, which is the governing body of trucking in the United States. Thank you from the commentary in the background. It's so nice to be married because someone, you're like my Google. You're like my Google for life. You're stuck forever. So yeah, so accidents are always, I don't want to say they're fun because that sounds horrible, but I genuinely like helping somebody in a difficult situation. I in my personal life, I don't handle stress well if it's directly related to like me or if my spouse is sick or one of our dogs is sick. I don't handle personal stress very well, but at work, I definitely can handle stressful situations and want to help people get out of those kind of situations because it's no one likes to be in an accident regardless, but when you're in a commercial vehicle, a lot of times the finger gets pointed at you for being at fault even if you're not. And there's so many things that have to happen right away after an accident. You have to get pictures, you have to exchange information, the police need to be called in most cases, you have to decide what's going to happen depending on how much damage is involved to any other vehicles and then the truck and the freight they're carrying and who you need to contact. If drug tests need to be given to the driver, depending on how severe the accident is, what you're going to do if the truck is not drivable. Can you get them into a sub truck? Does the driver need to go to the hospital? Which hopefully that's never the case, but if it is, and they have a high value load, now who's going to watch that load? A lot of times, sometimes it's just easier to have the police take it and put the trailer with the freight in impound because that's at least a secure and monitored lot, even though you um, have to pay for that. At least then you can, um, at least you can know that the freight's secure. We don't haul a ton of super high value freight, but what we do, we take great responsibility to take care of it and make sure that it gets there. And if there is incidents, that we take care of it as quickly as possible, regardless of what it is, even if it's just packaging material, you still are responsible for taking it and getting it there safely from point A to point B. And actually, theft of freight is huge. It's going up significantly. We have certain truck stops all over the United States that have been turned off limits for our drivers, which makes parking even more difficult because it's difficult to park anywhere with a tractor trailer. But um, some of them tend to be more high theft areas than others. So, um, anyway, so that's something. And trailer piracy actually is a really real thing, like road piracy. If you guys maybe have heard rumors about it, it does happen. People who have every intention of stealing freight will follow drivers from shippers and try to overtake them and corner them in a situation where they are blocked in, and then they'll break into the trailers and steal the freight. And it happens, and it happens over weird stuff, laundry detergent, diapers, anything that's high, in high demand, tends to be tends to be um, if people know where stuff gets shipped from. It's not, you can't hide where the shippers are and what they're making. So people will follow trailers, and sometimes depending on where you are, just in the country, you could be in a place that's just not, there's not a lot of police traffic, there's not a lot of traffic in general, and stuff can happen out there. So trucking is a weird industry. There's just so many things going on all at once, and the drivers are typically out there by themselves, even if it's a team. Usually one person's sleeping, one person's driving. So you have somebody that's out there on their own and hoping that nothing bad is going to happen, from accidents to getting lost to dealing with someone trying to break into their freight. So we try to keep our drivers as safe as we can out there, but it's difficult sometimes, and that's why I have a lot of respect for people who do that. And I have a lot of respect for people in any aspect of the trucking industry. The people who work at the shippers, that's a hard job to work out in the warehouses. People who work in the yards themselves, moving the trailers back and forth. It's an interesting job. Why are you making that face?
What about management and IT?
What about management and IT? Well, IT has a job that I will never understand. That's why I don't understand and try to do your job, because you're special.
What about management?
Management, well, they're a whole different character. Management's management, whatever industry you're in. So you can have the best managers. The best managers, I think, are people that know what it's like to not be a manager, um, and people who have been in other positions before they were in management. I think tend to make the best managers. I know my darling spouse, who is sitting over here laughing at me at the moment, was in food service management, but my spouse wasn't afraid to jump in and help cook or help serve or help run orders out or do whatever needed to be done. And that's somebody that, and I'm not just saying that because I love my spouse, I'm saying that because I respect the fact that working in the food industry is difficult. Major props to anyone out there who does. It's a good manager will do whatever they need to do to help their people do it. It's not just somebody that's barking orders and telling you what to do. As a manager, I don't think you have to know how to do everything, but you should be able to jump in and help when needed, and not just keep yelling. Somebody that's going to stand back and yell that's not the way you motivate people. So.
Okay, current job aside.
Current job aside,
Who's the best manager you've ever had?
Who's about? Oh,
and
that.
Why?
Oh, okay. So this gentleman, I won't say his last name, but his name is Wes. He's still with Walmart. I was with Walmart for almost 20 years. The last six of it was management. Six, almost 7 years of it was management. And I had a manager when I was an hourly associate overnight, Wes, who was probably, and he still is, probably one of the coolest people I've ever met. Um, I was an overnight stalker, and this is back when they still had Walmart radio on, and I think they do have Walmart radio again now. I'll have to ask my stepdaughter because she still works overnights, but um, he would override a Walmart radio with his country CDs, and he would walk around singing all night. And if you were in an aisle that had a lot of freight, or you were in the back room and you were trying to put a heavy box back in storage, he had no problem rolling up his sleeves, and he would sling freight with you. He would go throw away your cardboard. He would get up on the ladder and have you hand him stuff. He would get up on the ladder and bring stuff down to you. At the end of the night, he always did amazing, amazing. Just thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. You guys did a really good job tonight. And he wasn't just saying that. That's why I appreciated him, because he meant it when he told you thank you. He genuinely meant it, and he would just make you feel like you were part of a team, and he genuinely wanted us all to be a team. He liked people to work together and help each other out. He's still that way. He's pretty high up in management last time I checked with Walmart. But I know he's still like that. I know he still cares about people no matter what level you are. And he's going to make you feel that you matter, even though maybe you're just brand new, or maybe you're somebody that has no desire to move up. You're happy doing what you're doing. He is going to take care of you and appreciate you from the bottom of the totem pole all the way to the top. And he never asked people to respect his position. He always just told us respect was earned, and that's why I appreciated him, because he would get out there and work with us. He would get out there and probably throw freight harder than some people out there. He actually would always bring another dress shirt when we worked nights, and he would go change really quick about 6 o'clock in the morning before the store manager would come in, because no matter if he told us he wasn't going to work that night, he always worked, and he would be covered in freight, dirt, dust, and sweat, and have to run and go change. But that's why he was just one of those. He's just one of those people that makes you feel good when you're around him, and that's awesome. So, all right, what other questions do you have tonight? Since you're asking questions, we'll just call you the person behind the camera.
The man behind
the man behind the camera. Yeah.
The man behind the woman in front of the
One of the other channels
What's
that
this live about?
What's this live about? Well, it's kind of a random talk tonight.
Yeah.
And hi, Sophia. You're not being mean at all. It's kind of a random talk about my channel and what's going on in the world.
What's your favorite movie?
What's my favorite movie? No, not Aliens. You know what my favorite movie is. It's Silent Running.
No.
Yeah. No, I do like the Alien series, but my favorite movie of all time is Silent Running. And no, I don't know who it's by, and all the actors in it are like no-name actors who I don't think ever
Then
did
why
much
do you
of it.
like it?
Why do I like it? Because it is the story about what could happen if we don't take care of the earth. And
You're probably not.
and it talks about trying to save a dying world. It's people out in space with the last of all of the plants and the animals, all divided by different environments. There's a desert, there's a rainforest, there's all kinds of different environments, and then the people that are running the program decide that it's a waste of money, and so they want them all blown up. And one of the guys that is in charge of taking care of all of these gardens wants to save them, so he trains 3 of these robots that he names Huey, Dewey, and Louie to take care of them. And then he winds up getting killed because he won't follow orders, and he won't stop saving the gardens. So he shoots one of the remaining gardens as a rainforest. He shoots it off into outer space to just keep going with the robots to take care of it.
Sounds good.
It's depressing, but it's a good movie. What's your favorite movie in the whole wide world?
Anything that's fun.
Anything that's funny. Yeah, I know. You've taught me to like funny movies. We've watched lots of funny movies together. What did we just watch that was funny? We just watched the second, what was that vacation movie? The Vacation Friends movie with
We just watched Ricky Stenicki's.
Yeah, we just watched Ricky Stenicki. That's what we just watched. That's hilarious.
Vacation Friends 2 was months ago.
Okay, I can't think of his John Cena.
Cena.
John Cena, like, he was funny when he was, well, I guess he is still kind of a wrestler, but he was funny doing that. But he's hilarious as an actor. He's probably, I think the reason I like him is because he can laugh at himself, and he has a really good time doing what he's doing on the screen. I think he's like how Jim Carrey was back in the day before Jim Carrey got serious.
No.
Yeah, he could laugh at himself, and he had fun when he was. I like people that can have fun when they're on screen.
I like John Cena, but young Jim Carrey was something special.
Well, young Jim Carrey was crazy. I mean, he's still crazy.
He was
But
special.
yeah, though I like, and he's not funny, but I like Tom Cruise because he genuinely.
Tom Cruise has his moments.
He does have his moments where he has really good one-liners. He's really good at dropping like random funny things. But the fact that the man does his own stunts is just, and I didn't know that for the longest time. I had no idea that he did his own stunts. And some, like, when you watch Mission Impossible when he's hanging off the building, no, I'm not super afraid of heights, but that's just insane. And I don't know how he has like the nerve and hanging out of planes. And
So since we're talking about actors, who's your favorite actor?
Who is my favorite actor? That's changed over the years. It used to be Johnny Depp, but now, there's a lot of controversy there, and, that is what it is, and I don't do politics and stuff, but I think now,
Controversy aside, that doesn't impact whether or not he was a good actor.
I think he always was a good actor, and I think he could do a lot of different things because he's done a lot of different movies.
He may or may not be a bad person, just like any of us.
That's true.
But
That's true. As an actor, yeah, I think I love him in all the Pirates movies. I loved him in he's done a lot of scary movies. Kind of scary. I loved him in Edward Scissorhands, which was such a I think that was everybody's introduction, or most people's introduction to Tim Burton. And I think that was such a good movie, and when it came out, it was so different than everything else that was out there, that it was a really cool movie, because it wasn't a horror movie, but it wasn't a comedy, and it wasn't a drama, and it wasn't anything that anybody can really categorize, but it was really cool. I think he's really good. I think and now his name escapes me. You're gonna have to Google for me. The guy who was the main character in The Fly. That's the big movie that I
Jeff
know.
Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum. I think he was really good back.
There's no Google there.
Yeah, well, you are Google. Remember, you are Google. So yeah, I think he's really good. I have a great appreciation for Brad Pitt, and I used to not, because I always used to think that he was such a pretty boy. But now that we've watched a lot more of his movies, I appreciate him for who he is, and I think he's funny, but he's like serious funny. I like him in all of the what is that? The casino movies, the Ocean's movies. I like him in all the Ocean's movies, because he's kind of like the ringleader, so he has to be.
No, George Clooney's
Well, George Clooney, but he's like the backup dude. He's like the backup ringleader. But I think he's he has all his little mannerisms in every movie. Like in all the Ocean movies, he's always eating. In what is the movie that he and Angelina Jolie are trying to kill each other in?
Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, he's like he's supposed to be like such a nerd, and he plays that nerd role really well. He did the vampire movie that he did, Interview with the Vampire with Tom Cruise. I think they played off each other very, very well. Though I have a lot of respect for Tom Cruise. I mean, in his personal life, he's a little different, but I think he's a good actor too.
Again, personal life.
Yeah,
aside.
personal life aside, I think he's a great. Okay, so who's your favorite actor? We'll ask the man behind the camera.
Man behind the woman.
Yeah, the man behind the
Woman in front of the camera.
That's way too complicated. This
That's
channel,
right.
I watch Plastic Pimps sometimes, and then I'm hoping they pop on. He has his. I don't know. I don't want to misspeak. I think they're boyfriend girlfriend, but I don't want to misspeak. But he calls her the driver, who is formerly known as James, which is hilarious because she has a really pretty mousy like voice, and she's very attractive. But that's funny. So you need to shorten it a little bit.
I would like to say Tom Hanks. I really respect his
Oh,
work,
Tom Hanks.
but quite frankly, it may be Michael Pena.
Yeah, I did forget about him because he's in like everything.
Yeah, he's the
Michael
hardest
Pena
work-
is in like everything, but he's never been a lead, has he?
I'm sure in something, but usually he's a supporting actor. But he's phenomenal. In
He
everything
is.
does.
He can be funny, like in Ant-Man. He's hilarious in Ant-Man.
Tom and Jerry, he was fun.
Tom and Jerry. He was. Oh yeah, that is a good movie. Who?
No, that was a bad movie.
It was a bad funny movie. Okay, they tried to be cute. They tried.
They tried.
Um.
I mean, I liked it, but it was not a good movie.
Well, what's his name from SNL's in there?
Colin Jost.
Yeah, Colin Jost. He's in there. Let's see. What else is?
But then he was serious in The Martian.
That's true. He was serious in The Martian. Of course, I have.
He pops up all over.
Yeah. What's his name that is in The Martian? Matt Damon. I have a lot of respect for him too.
Well, again, you're back to the Ocean's Tree.
Yeah, that's true. Can you tell we watch a lot of the same movies over and over again?
I mean, the Ocean's movies. That was a pretty good list of actors. In
That's
those
true.
movies.
What have you been watching over and over lately? You've got Mail, so
Yeah.
that's got Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan.
Dabney Coleman.
Yeah.
Greg Kinnear.
Okay, so then we've been watching You've Got Mail. We've been watching. What's the other sappy one with Meg Ryan?
Which one? When Harry Met Sally.
Hi, living my
or-
best life. I hope you are feeling better. I am so glad you got your surgery. I really hope you're doing well. You are in my prayers. I didn't get to read. I saw you put a community post up just as I was going live. I hope you get feeling better, and I am so excited to hear how the rest of your journey goes. So best of luck to you. Yeah. So we've been watching You've Got Mail.
When
We've been
Harry
wa-
Met Sally.
When Harry Met Sally. What's the other one of that trilogy? Sleepless in Seattle.
It's not really a
Well,
trilogy.
trilogy, but
I consider it the Meg Ryan.
the Meg Ryan trilogy. Okay, so we've been watching that. We've been watching The Martian a lot.
I always watch The Martian.
Yeah. We watched I'm So Glad You're Home and Doing Well. That's awesome. You got home quick then. That's great. Well, of course, they kick you out of the hospital
You
nowadays.
know who else, speaking of talking about movies, who was a good actor, was, what's his name? The man that played Snape.
Oh,
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yeah, he's a really good actor. Okay, so I had never watched all of the Harry Potter movies all the way through until a few years ago, and we sat down and watched all of them because Madison really likes them. And when he dies, like, I cried. Like, it wasn't. Some people make their death scenes like so
Okay.
over the top.
Not to interrupt, but did you cry when he died in Die Hard?
No, I did not cry when he died in Die Hard. I liked him in Die Hard though, and I don't care what anybody said. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. That is. I mean, it's not like a Christian Christmas movie, but it is a good Christmas movie.
Okay, which movie I haven't seen, but Home Alone, was that a Christmas movie?
Home Alone is not a Christmas movie. It's
But
a
it's
really good movie.
It's set over Christmas.
It is set over Christmas. It's okay. So I don't think my dad like super likes Home Alone, but he and I both like physical comedy, which is why like I grew up watching Monty Python and Faulty Towers because that's physical comedy, and my dad and I are both really into that. And my mom is like, my mom's like, okay, but my dad and I can watch physical comedy all day long. It's why we got into
So, did you
like
watch The Three Stooges?
we have watched some of the Three Stooges. We have watched and my dad and I's sense of humor is really weird. I like
Yes,
a
it is.
we like a lot of British humor, and British humor. I think if you're not British, you either get it or you don't. And that I think that's like if you're not American, sometimes American humor is very strange. Like what we think as Americans is funny, like the rest of the world is like that's not funny, you know. But I guess that's every culture though. Like every culture, if you don't understand the mannerisms, like I'm very much into Russian literature, and unfortunately, unless you have an exceptionally good translator, a lot of the comedy is lost. And some of the Russian literature, not I don't read current Russian. We're talking about way back in the day Russian literature, um, and I think a lot of mannerisms sometimes and just phrases that people say and like what's something like okay, like if you say something is you have a very dry sense of humor. Okay, so that some people I appreciate a dry sense of humor. I get that. So but you know how like some people there's certain things we say like um easy as pie. Like and they make fun of that in movies. There's some movie where somebody says easy as cake. What movie is that?
I think it's Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Okay, so he says like easy as cake.
She says it.
Yeah,
Sandra
she says it.
Bullock.
She says Sandra Bullock says easy as cake.
There's another good actor.
Oh yeah, she is a good. Yeah, okay, we'll get to Sandy in just a minute because you love her. But there's certain things that get so lost in translation, like people who know the phrase "easy as pie" or, what's something else that people always say,
Piece of cake.
raining cats and dogs. Like if you don't know English and somebody said raining cats and dogs, they would look at you like you're nuts. Like it doesn't rain cats and dogs. You know what I mean? Like there's just certain things that
But that's in any language.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's so hard.
The idioms in any
Yeah, it's so hard,
language.
and especially in books or like movies that someone is trying to translate so that you can subtitle movies. I think that's why now they've gotten a lot better. There's people that specialize in translation, and they get the idioms, they get the inflection, they get, especially not everybody in America sounds the same and says the same things. Like in some places in the country it's soda, and in some places in the country it's pop. In some places it's Coke, whether it's Coke or Pepsi or Dr.
Sprite.
Pepper or Sprite, it's Coke. And that's just how it is. It's same thing in other countries. What is Eskimos have how many words? I think 20 something words for the words to know. And depending on where you live, I mean, even in different states, different things mean different things to different people, And like, I used to always say you're going to the gas station. Now that I'm in trucking, it's fuel. Madison makes fun of me all the time because I say fuel, but that's what I say at work. in trucking, it's fuel. You're getting diesel fuel. And so we just say going to get fuel. And now I say that because I say it at work. And it hits you weird. So I don't know that anyway. Okay, so Sandy, we'll get on Sandy. Sandra Bullock is a very good actress. I think
She's phenomenal.
she can be very serious. I've seen her in some really serious roles.
Gravity.
Gravity, yeah, that's a weird movie, and that's sad.
Her-
I got, and I don't. That's kind of a newer movie, so I don't want to ruin that for anybody. But when you
She's 10 years
realize,
old, sweetie.
okay, it was 10. Okay, but well, that's like Interstellar. Like when you realize what's going on in those movies, I got mad. Like I was mad. I love movies that make you think that something completely different is going on the whole movie. I love that because it's engaging. When you move from Indiana to South, oh, I bet you did. Yeah, we're weird in the Midwest. We really are. And depending on where you came from in Indiana, you could be Midwest, you could be more towards like Northwest, you could be more towards Chicago. I mean, yeah, I bet. Oh, South Georgia. Yeah, and the South has lots of interesting words too. I love Southern dialect and Southern accents, and they're so different. Like Georgia, really deep South has a very different accent and inflection than northern Georgia. And like we have family friends that live down in Alabama that came from Missouri and now they sound like they've been in Alabama their whole life because you pick up on it. And like I don't think that I have a weird or different or accent or anything like that. And I've had people that like listen to my ASMR that are from all over the world and tell me, "Oh, you have such a pretty accent," or "Oh, are you from so and so?" So like it's different wherever you go. Oh, tote means carry or take. So a ride to the store is I can tote you to the store. That's an interesting one. That would take a long time. I don't know. Wow. That's like people like British, like a trolley, like a shopping cart is a trolley. Buggy. Yeah, buggy. I think buggy is, I hear buggy a lot
The South.
in the South. But I also heard it in Kansas City. My grandmother, my dad's mom, lived up in Kansas City, and I heard buggy a lot at the grocery stores. And grocery stores are interesting. That's where you find out the real words about people. Like,
I'm starting to think you have like attention deficit disorder.
I do have. I think I do have ADD sometimes. I really do. I get all over the place.
You went from Sandra Bullock to this to this.
But I
to
was.
this, and now we're in grocery stores.
But well, okay.
No,
people-
that's fine. It's just like
I know I'm weird on
this
lives.
is like the rapid fire.
Hello,
section.
Scorpion. It's nice to see you. Good evening or good morning, wherever you are. I know, but that's why I like lives, because I like to talk to people, and this is how my mind works. It just sort of happens. This is why. This
You
is.
shortchanged my girl Sandy.
I did not. We'll get back to Sandy. Okay, so let's talk about Sandy. What all movies has she been in? She's been in. They would say mash instead of push, so mash the button. I have heard mash the button. Drivers say that a lot. Mash the pedal. Like I had a guy call me the other day because his truck wasn't engaging, and he could only. He's like, no matter how hard I mash that pedal, it's not going over 5. And I'm thinking, Matt, what are you like beating the heck out of it, buddy? What are you doing? I'm thinking, no, okay, he's pushing on it. But yeah, that's so true. That is so true. Okay, so Sandy's been in The Proposal. She's been in the Demolition Man. She's been in the Miss Congeniality movies.
We only talk about the first.
Well, yeah, okay, we only talk about the first one. She's done a lot of voiceovers, right? In some cartoon movies. She's done Minions, because she was Scarlet Overkill, that is an amazing character. I admired the fact that Sandy made such a cool bad girl character, and she wasn't overly sexualized. I mean, she had a nice figure and everything, but it was more, that character was about who she was with her work. That she was this girl that grew up in a bad way, and she was so jealous of the world around her that she creatively put her mind. She wasn't, sometimes they take, and Sandy is a very beautiful person. She's a very attractive woman. She, and you can see that come across in some of her movies, like in The Proposal. She's this beautiful woman, but at the same time, everyone's scared of her because she's intimidating, and she's not a nice person. But at the end of it, hello, New Creation in Christ. Nice to see you. So good to see you. Good evening. All kinds of people showing tonight. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Um, but so like, I think Sandy's good because she doesn't make none of her characters are overly sexualized. She's very much about her intelligence. She's a very smart person.
Yeah.
When you hear her speak off, when she's like talking about life in general, you see her in interviews. I know she does a lot. She does a lot of charity work. She does a lot just of good humanitarian work, and she always sounds very composed and very sure of herself. She carries herself with a lot of confidence, and she doesn't have to use cheapness to get attention, to get her point across.
Well, she
Um,
speaks German too fluently.
oh, she speaks German. I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So, yes, yes, our live in Google.
It's great when she does her interviews in German.
Oh, that's right. She has done interviews in German.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's the one thing they do? Because Ryan Reynolds has done it. All kinds of people have done it. There's some YouTube where they have like the boards that they peel off the questions.
Oh yeah, 10 questions.
10 questions or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's done some of those, and they've asked people like what languages you speak and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really cool. I admire actors and actresses that have such a strong presence off screen, because I think to be a good actor or actress, you obviously have to have confidence and charisma and all of those things. But those people that have that off screen too, and use that to do good things in this world, are awesome. Ryan Reynolds has done a lot for
There's
Ryan. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is such a cool person. Like, people, and he makes fun of himself, which I think is hilarious. He has very good self-deprecating humor, and he'll talk about, what is that movie, The Green Lantern, and he
Yeah.
talks about, so he talks about blame Canada for that and blah blah blah, and he makes fun of himself. But at the same time, he does so much, like going to children's hospitals dressed up as Deadpool and meeting with kids that are just in really bad situations and trying to make their lives a little bit brighter. I admire people who do that. He's done a lot of just work in general.
People that do that. Mr. Beast was in Australia for the thing,
Uh-huh.
and there was like their version of Make a Wish or whatever down there, and he went and met with a young girl in the hospital. It was really nice.
That's cool. Mr. Beast is an interesting case study, because when you hear interviews with him, like when you see his videos, he's so engaging, and he has such a, he's so out there and in your face, but in his personal life, he is such a shy, like, I need to be just with me, and he's so like, he's almost like standoffish. And I think he gets really overwhelmed, and you can see that in some of his videos where people are like wanting to hug on him. Now, when he does his charitable work, I think he puts all of that aside. When we just watched the video where he went and built a bunch of houses in different communities, and when he's went and built, he did the wells in the schools for the kids. Like, the kids just absolutely adore him, because I mean, he's close to their age, and he does a lot for people, younger people, that for otherwise wouldn't have opportunities.
Well, I don't think he gets enough credit for his, call it business savvy or whatever.
Yeah, for somebody that,
I mean, he's very
quote, didn't
driven.
finish college and didn't do all the traditional things, his
He's very
business sense
driven,
is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, his sense of drive every day. The fact that he's like, he doesn't have a quote house, he lives in his freaking studio. I mean, he's shown. I think it was, we watched.
There's been several tours.
Yeah, but we watched one with like Mr. Who's the Boss, and he
Yes.
walked in and he showed he lives in this little room. I mean, I don't even think it's his
It's
main.
like a studio apartment.
It's like a studio apartment, but he has his. He gets up, he works out. I mean, he struggles with. He's got, what is it, Crohn's?
Crohn's.
Yeah, he has Crohn's, so he has a pretty serious medical condition.
Or is it
and-
IBS?
I mean, he's got something.
Crohn's or IBS?
Crohn's, but it's apparently it's really bad, and he's
Yeah.
had some really bad issues with it. But he gets up every day. He keeps a very strict, and he'll tell you when I'm on, I'm on. And he said I may do very little of anything else. And I mean, he's got a girlfriend. He's very close with his mom. But he's still, when he's on, he's on. And you can say, oh, well, that's his job and that's all he does is YouTube. Yeah, but he wouldn't be doing the quality of things that he does if he wasn't treating it like
There's
a real
lot
job.
There's a lot of people's job that's YouTube, and
You can
look at their success versus his.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have made enough money on YouTube that they can quit their quote real job, and then you can see some people that like phone it in. There's a creator that we followed for a while that we no longer follow. That's an animal creator, and they have pretty much gone to phoning it in. Um, and you know, we all have bad days. No, the T word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to out anybody. I don't want to be
Yeah,
rude,
let's
but
not out
I mean
anybody.
that particular person, their videos
'Cause you
used
never
to
know their situation.
right, and I mean I know that particular person has, at least they've admitted to having some health issues, but at the same time, if you're gonna put all of your eggs in the basket of being a content creator, and you just kind of say, you know,
Let's talk about some content creators. I maintain Layla the boxer.
Layla the boxer, yeah,
She is the most underrated
she is
dog
animal
canine
creator, yeah.
content creator out there.
Yeah, if you guys
Her
have never
stuff is
watched,
top
if you guys
notch.
are into funny animal videos that are humane, not like an animal getting hurt or something like that, check out Layla the Boxer. It's Layla and Luna, but the channel is Layla the Boxer, and she started it a while ago, I guess, a few years ago, and then she met her husband because of their Instagram channels,
Yeah.
and he had a dog, and so now it's Layla and Luna, and of course, luckily the two girl dogs have got. I mean, they're like sisters.
They're less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're less
apart.
than 2 weeks apart, and they're so cute. And she does some of the funniest videos. And they have a baby now. I think their baby's 6 or
Oh,
8.
she's older than that.
Maybe she's 8 months old.
She's coming up on a year.
Okay, but anyway, they have a baby, and their baby, she's adorable. I mean, everybody says babies are adorable, but she's very cute. And she's just so creative, and her stuff is wholesome. You know, there's nothing trashy about her videos. They're funny. They're a family living with dogs and a family living with a baby, and you know the stuff that kids do and the stuff that dogs do, and you know the stuff that real families do, but it's funny, and she genuinely puts her heart and soul into what she does, and her videos are hilarious, and they're no more than like a minute or two long, but she's shown a lot of behind the scenes.
Just over a minute.
Yeah, they're usually like no more than a minute. I think the longest we've ever seen like a minute and a half.
The behind the scenes ones.
But the behind the scenes, yeah, her actual videos are no longer than like a minute 10, a minute 20. But her behind the scenes, you see how much work that she puts into it, and like
and how creative she is to get the shot.
yeah, how like, and it's not like a human where you can say go stand there. I mean, dogs will do certain things, but she has to like think, okay, if I want to get this shot underneath the couch and show the dog reaching under there and pulling this out, how am I going to do that? Because it's not just enough to shove the treat under the couch, because you want to show the motion of the dog pulling, so you really have to go, okay, how do I do this and get the right angle and still get the dog and still,
She's managing 2 dogs.
Yeah, 2 dogs at a time and the baby.
Sometimes she's got her parents' dog, so it's 3.
Right, and sometimes she has her parents' dog. So yeah, that's really creative. I think Mr. Who's the Boss is a good case of creativity, because he went from filming, and he still films in his bedroom, or some semblance of a bedroom. And I mean, now he has people that work for him.
And 19 million subscribers.
And 19 million subscribers. But at the same time, when he first started, he took a lot of time and a lot of thought and a lot of. Now he does tech, which is different than what I do. And tech, you have to know your stuff.
It's
but
more entertaining tech.
Yeah, he's fun. He's engaging. If you're very serious about tech, then you go watch somebody like Marquez, who is. And what?
MKBHD.
What?
MKBHD.
BHD. Okay,
That's
sorry.
his channel.
Sorry, I'm not. Obviously, I don't watch him a lot, but I admire him for what he does. I love watching him play extreme frisbee, because that I think is ultimate frisbee, which I think is a fascinating sport. But I think people that are engaging, people that are real. We just watched Mr. Who's the Boss's wedding video, and he did this huge, was what, 10,000 drones or something?
He didn't say, did he?
I thought it did in the video. I don't know.
It's
But anyway, it was a lot of drones.
It was his wedding speech.
It was his wedding speech, and he had it all animated with drones. And the time that he took to do that, and it wasn't that he wanted the attention. He genuinely did it for his wife.
I'm sure somebody else did it.
Well, okay, but I mean, somebody else designed the drone, but he genuinely sat down and wrote those things and did those things.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's other content creators that are engaging that. There's some ASMR people that. Oh, sorry guys. There's some ASMR people that. There's a lady that I watch that hand paints some of her decorations for her sets, and this is just stuff that's in the background, you know. And then she does like she made some. She did a video that had like dragon stuff in it, dragon eggs, and she hand painted those. Then there's people that like the lock picking lawyer guy, like he knows his stuff and and all you see in the video is his hands. You never see his face. So for having a channel where you never see the person that's talking to you and his videos are all talking.
And he's got such a pleasing voice.
He does have a very pleasing voice and he's very engaging. Brian, Brian Lagerston, who is from St. Louis, so he is the Missouri guy. And no, we don't stalk him. He openly admits that he lives in St. Louis. But he's super engaging. And he is a very accomplished chef and he can do some really fancy things, but he makes food for all levels of cooks. He makes food for people that have been cooking for a long time, and he makes food that people that are brand new home cooks can make,
Right.
and that want to make. And then he has budget meals, so he's not just telling you, here, go make a steak. Not everybody can afford a steak. Not everybody wants to eat a steak. His wife has a gluten allergy, so he makes stuff that's gluten free, and he talks about that. Josh, now he's a little bit younger.
The thing with Josh is very proud of Josh's skills. And
Yes.
Josh is very talented, and Josh is a little more on the showman side.
He is.
And he likes to show off some of the stuff, and it's great to watch. But yeah, a lot of the stuff, normal, quote unquote, the average person won't make it.
No.
Either due to the cost, the number of ingredients,
Mhm.
the time, the effort.
Right.
Whereas most of Brian's stuff you can knock out in under 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, you've made it. We've made. Well,
Brian's
not we.
Brian's
You've
like
made
the-
a lot
yeah,
of his recipes.
Brian's like the Rachel Ray of YouTube cooking.
He is, and he's
30-minute
engaging. You
meals.
want to watch him. He's real. He's very honest about how much he spends. He's very honest about the fact that, you know, he's made videos talking about, you know, hey, Lauren, I think is Lauren, his wife, that he had student loans and they were living very, very tight, frugally, and you know they were eating a lot of the same meals, but he tried to make the best of what they had, so it was good food, and he makes it that, oh, okay, it's okay to do that. It's okay to, you know, live frugally and still take care of yourself, still live a good life.
Yeah, he's not wheeling out, you know, some of the gadgets Josh wheels out.
Well, and like
are
Sam,
just
the cooking guy.
unattainable. Yeah, Sam's entertaining, and Sam has the same problem.
When Sam first started, Sam the cooking guy was trying to make people cook again. Now he's so about, oh, well, you need this, and you need a flat top griddle, and you need to do this, and you need
Not so much that you need it, but he uses a lot of expensive ingredients.
He uses very expensive
that
ingredients.
a lot of people, again,
yeah,
it's not really attainable.
agreed. You know, and he makes things that I don't think would appeal
A
to
lot
everyone.
of it's what I would consider like TikTok recipes.
Yeah,
Or
he
it's,
does
you know,
pretty food and
pretty food and like mashups. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's
it's like
not stuff you would normally
55
make.
ways to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Man, if I just want a grilled cheese sandwich, I just want a grilled
But
cheese
yeah, it's
sandwich.
like Brian, back to Brian, not to harp on him, but like he had the video here's how to make a soup base, and you can make all these different soups from this.
Right.
And we've made multiple different soups.
Yeah, the
from
one
it.
that you made the squash soup out of. That was
Yeah.
really good. And
You
we
know,
had
he's like,
was
you can make
butternut
Yeah,
squash.
squash. He's like, you make squash out of this. You know, basically you need root vegetables and stuff.
Yeah.
Potatoes and leeks.
And it's good. It's really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. And I didn't think I was super gonna like it, but I do.
So he's a little, you know, he's better on technique than Josh is. A lot of
Yeah.
Josh's techniques look great,
Mhm.
but a lot of people, including myself, I can't do them.
No. And Brian breaks stuff down. Brian will show you, and he's very good about talking you through it and talking about, okay, you know, and telling you alternate ways. Like if you don't like shrimp, you could use this. Or if shrimp's not on sale, you can use this. Or if you don't like dealing with seafood or whatever. You could use this instead. He's also really good about his camera angles in that he shows you very up close with his fingers how to hold the knife, very up close
Bab is just good at that.
how to roll the herbs so that it's one tight roll. He's very good about
Yeah,
all
so
this.
you can chiffon that.
Yeah, chiffonade. Yeah, see, I don't. Obviously, I'm not
But
the
yeah,
one that
like
cooks.
kind of a lot of kind of similar to Babish used to.
When when Babish isn't doing like, let me recreate this dish from The Simpsons or let me recreate this dish from
Yeah,
whatever
when he's doing
show.
his
When he's
basics.
doing his actual basic cooking, he's really good. What's his name? The angry dude.
Not Kimchi.
No. Gordon.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay. Like he's done, and you know people because he's such a big TV star, and people see him on like Hell's Kitchen and all that, and he's so most of that anger is strictly TV. He's not that way. Like if you watch some of his YouTube videos when he's home with his family, like he is like the super nice family oriented. All his kids,
Everybody
you know,
knows
every
the cameras on.
yeah, but I mean, you know, he's all the kids want to come cook with him and whatever, and he's got lots of kids.
Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly. He's got lots of kids. But no, he's really good about breaking. He has this master class or whatever. He's really
But
good
still,
about.
his stuff is still way more.
He is
difficult.
very advanced compared to some other
Yeah.
people. So.
Again, though, he's been training as a chef for years.
Yeah.
And Brian's worked in a lot of places.
Brian
and
has,
trained.
yeah, and
But he
Josh
keeps
I
it
think only worked in
separate.
like one or two
Nah,
restaurants.
Josh has been around.
Well, yeah, but he talks about the one restaurant like all the time. So, yeah. So wow, we've really covered a lot of ground tonight.
A lot of interesting things.
So much for your baseball
You
game,
still
huh?
shortchanged Sandy.
Okay, well, what would you like to talk about Sandy?
Oh no, I'm over
Oh, you
Sandy.
moved past that now. Okay.
Yes, Sandy, if it's possible, is underrated.
See, I agree. Sandra Bullock is very underrated, in a lot of and like I said, she does a lot off screen she's not somebody that wants the attention for it. She steps back and does it quietly. You know, Bill Gates, when Bill Gates donates, boy, the whole flipping world knows that Bill Gates donated.
When you're Bill Gates, it's hard not to.
I know, but he's still, even now, there's this gravitation.
Don't pick on Bill.
I'm gonna pick on Bill. It's certain people just have this, ooh, look, I gave to charity, or ooh, look, I did this.
I disagree.
You know?
I disagree.
So,
And so what? I hear what you're saying.
good
but
evening, Northern Lights. Hi, how nice to see you. I think it's nighttime for you. Good evening. Good morning if it is.
Does that in any way diminish what he does?
No, it doesn't diminish what he does. I wish he would do more here in the States.
Well, that's my gripe. But
You know?
I don't get that's the same thing Mr. Beast deals with. He goes and digs wells, and then he takes, what's the polite word? He takes a lot of criticism.
He does take a lot of
He
criticism.
takes criticism. Well, you should have done it here. You should have done it there.
Yeah.
It's like at least he did something for someone.
Agreed.
Be
Agreed.
grateful. He helps some.
He does. And he
people.
does a lot here, too, that people don't see.
He
He has
does.
given a lot of money to
The food pantries.
the food
especially.
pantries. He has done so much for food pantries. He's done a lot for animal welfare with dogs
Yeah.
and shelters. He's brought a lot of attention to how overcrowded shelters are. He's brought a lot of attention to the fact that people can still have dogs that don't have tons of money. And dogs do a lot. Animals in general do a lot for your mental health. If you're somebody that is alone or somebody that's struggling mentally, animals make a huge difference. I mean, they do.
But back to the topic at hand.
Oh, bless you.
I find it real easy that people criticize, like you were just criticizing Bill Gates. He still did. What
Yeah, that's true.
did.
He is doing something. He is doing, and
He's
he does.
doing quite a bit of something.
Yeah, he does a lot, and he
and
does.
a lot of people are.
And he attacks causes that I think people have swept under the rug, like doing the mosquito nets and things like that, malaria. Because I think people think, oh, malaria doesn't really happen anymore. Well, it does. We just don't hear about it a lot because it's not as big of a
Not as big of an
problem
issue
that it
here.
used to be, and it's not a big thing here in the States. So in the States, you don't hear about it. You may hear about it in other countries that are closer to where that is a problem. But the fact that he still cares about that and he continues to donate and save people from a horrible.
Right, if that's his pet
You know.
cause, good for him. Our pet cause happens to be stray rescue at the moment.
Right. Yeah, we're big about the animals. Mr. Beast is about clean water access. The Jerry Rig Every
Team trees.
Yeah, Team Trees. The Jerry Rig Every guy is building another library and a well. He and his wife are big on that. Mark Rober's done the Team Trees and the Clean
Team
Seas.
Seas.
They've done things like that, and I think that's cool. I think if
Well,
you,
Mark Rober's big in autism.
yeah,
for
Mark Rober
obvious
has
reasons.
has done a lot for the cause with autism and mental health. I think that's, I started a faith based channel to get that out there for people because there's so many people that I think would benefit from hearing from that, and not just, somebody and I were one of my followers we were having a discussion in comments the other day about sometimes it feels like we're just sharing our faith with each other, but I think that's what we need to do because even people that have a very strong foundation in faith, whatever that faith is, not just necessarily Christianity. I know I'm well aware that there are plenty of other faiths, um, but people who have a strong foundation in faith still struggle. People still have bad days. People still have stuff that's going on in their lives, and they need physical people sometimes to walk them through it. Um, I love going to God when I have a problem. I love going to God when I'm struggling with something. But at the same time, I have a spouse that loves me and cares about me and is going to make sure that if I have a bad day, I can come home and talk about it. If I got yelled at by 10 drivers about something that just to me is so small and insignificant, but to these drivers is worth screaming and cussing me out for 15 minutes about, yeah, it's gonna make it a bad day, and I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna want to go blah about it for like 10 minutes, and then I'm good and I'm done and we move on. But if you have a platform and you can do something with that and make a difference in even one person's life, then that I think is why you have a platform. You don't have a platform to make yourself cool. You don't have a platform to make yourself money. You don't have a platform to make yourself get all the attention. That's great if you do. And if you enjoy it, then hey, good for you. I'm not going to lie. It's nice to see, hey, I never thought we were going to get to 4,000 subscribers. We were sitting in the 3,000s for like eons. And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, we are getting out there. We are having people see what I can do and what I can bring to the world. And I'm so grateful for that. But it's not about me. I've had people tell me, can you pray for what's going on in my family? Can you pray for what's going on with my son or my friend or whatever? And I do. When someone asks me to, I have a list and I pray for those people because that is something that's important to me. My dad volunteers at a food bank, and when he sees those people, he prays about them too. And you don't know why that person is at that food bank. Maybe they're having a bad week. Maybe they work in like a service industry and they got bad tips that week. Okay. And you may never see him again. Maybe you see him every week because they are struggling every week. Okay. But the people like Mr. Beast and Mark Rober and even Bill Gates, and I shouldn't have made fun of what he
No.
does, but the people that can do that and they do it on a bigger scale than I ever could. But
Stop right there. They do, but there's so many more of all of us.
yeah,
Our little bits
our little bits, yeah.
exceed their
Yeah.
exceed them any
Exactly.
day
The little dog that we donate to on
Yeah.
Twitter, well, X or whatever it's called these days.
of the week.
That stray rescue. Um, that's what we
But, but when people do what they can do
right.
for
And
other
if
people,
yeah, if you give somebody $1 and that what that dollar may be the only dollar that you have to donate, but that dollar can make a huge difference for somebody that doesn't have it. And that's what people don't. I think that's why people sometimes are so afraid to donate to something, even though they genuinely believe in it. Well, I don't have a lot of money, or I don't have. I'd love to go volunteer, but I don't have time. Well, okay, so you don't have time to go volunteer, but maybe
even if you sometimes it's as much as spreading the word.
right, yeah. So, oh well, you could like we share posts from Stray Rescue all the time. We share posts about the fact that our dogs are all adopted all the time. Get the word out there. I tell drivers at my company, hey, if you're looking for a truck companion, there's lots of dogs that need a home, and I bet you they would. That's like the forever. Let's go in the car, bye bye. Just getting the word out there, you don't realize what impact you can have. And just like, and this is what I said at the beginning of the video, when you need to check in on people and care about people, not just people that you know. You don't realize if you see somebody at the grocery store and they look really mad, like they're just having a terrible day, and you don't even have to say anything to them. If you just actually genuinely smile at somebody, that could be the difference between that person going home and having an awful night after they've already had an awful day, and the difference between them having a day that turns out not to be so bad. And I'm gonna like kind of make fun of my darling spouse here. Madison used to be very, very shy. When we first met, Madison wouldn't give you eye contact, would not talk to a whole lot of people. When we first met, we had the strangest interaction to actually go out on a date. I think like this, we had this little back and forth that went on for a long time because we both liked each other, but we were both kind of like, oh well, you know, you know, like when you like somebody and you don't want to like say it or whatever.
You don't want to get rejected.
You don't want to get rejected. And of course, granted, this was 20 years ago, so we were both a lot younger. But God, it's 20 years. We've been together a long time, and we're still together, and we haven't killed each other.
And happier than
And yes, and that is true. That happier than ever. I never thought, I genuinely thought I would never be happy with somebody for the rest of my life and want to spend the rest of my life with one person. And I have my person. I have my person forever. The person that makes me laugh, the person that makes me smile, the person that makes me want to get up every day, the person that makes me want to do good and do better every day.
or well even.
And well, yeah. The person that we can just get in the car and drive and go do stupid stuff with the dogs, without having any plan as to where we were going. And it just sort of happens, and we wind up wherever we wind up. And 20 years later, here we are. But like I said, when I first met Madison, Madison was a very shy person. And Madison now has people in the grocery store that, if Madison hasn't been into the grocery store in a couple of days, will genuinely be concerned.
Because I'm a delight.
You are a delight. And that's what I was getting at. You don't realize what, glad you hear support. Yes, all our dogs are all rescued in their own special way. Our corgi, was, you know, a mess when we got him, and he probably wouldn't have been here if
We got him with pneumonia.
Yeah, we got him with pneumonia. We were told it was kennel cough, and it was pneumonia.
No, we were told it was, he's got the hiccups.
Yeah, he's got the hiccups or whatever, and we were already in love with him.
Yeah, not naming the breeder, but
Yeah, and
She
we
was-
rescued him from imminent death. We've rescued older dogs. We've rescued dogs that people didn't want. And I'm
we've
telling
got
you,
one with a deformity.
we've got one with a deformity, and you know what? He doesn't know it, and we don't treat him like he's any different. We have had our first dog, was an older dog. We don't actually know how old he was, and we only had 3 years with him. But man, every day that dog was the happiest dog you've ever seen. That dog smiled 24/7 unless he was sleeping. Every day, tongue out, just happy to go with life. And no, seriously, a lot of it comes down to Madison, because Madison has changed so much in 20 years. And Madison is the type of person that if you're having a bad day, you can't have a bad day, because Madison will make you laugh. Madison will make you feel better about yourself, and Madison will tell you you have to do better. And there's days where I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna go to bed, and that's it. What is it is. And Madison's like, yeah, but you have YouTube, and yeah, you have this, and yeah, you have your dog, and yeah, you have all. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, and I have you, and I don't. Sure, there's days where I do sleep probably more than I should, because I don't sleep much during the week when I'm at work. But we just had an ongoing fight for 20 years. But seriously, it's great to, when you have somebody that can support you like that, it's the best thing in the whole wide world. Somebody that supports everything about you, and the good things and the bad things. But being nice to someone, a complete stranger, it makes all the difference in the world.
It's not even a stranger, like your coworkers.
Yeah, your coworkers.
You know, people go into work, they try to hide it, but you know.
Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got stuff going on in
you're
their
at work,
life.
You're busy. You don't. You know.
Yeah.
It makes it you know.
And
some,
yeah,
some people work is their safe place.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have rescues too. That's awesome. They are, all animals are deserving
Yes.
of love. Absolutely. I genuinely think that rescue animals appreciate their homes because they know what it's like to not have one. It's so funny because all of our dogs know where home is, and when we get close in the car, they know. They like get excited. I mean, they're excited to go, and I really shouldn't be talking about the CAR right now because they know that word. I'm surprised they're not all running around at the moment, but just as much as they're excited to go, they're excited to come home too because they know they're safe, they know they're loved, they know they're cared about. And that's how people should feel too. Home should be a place that you are safe and that you're happy, but the rest of the world should be too, and it's not. And that's something that I think we as people as a whole, as the whole world fail to do. We fail miserably in taking care of each other. We're so wrapped up in ourselves, we're so wrapped up in what's going on in our own lives, and we're so wrapped up in what we think is so important that we stop realizing that there's other people around us. I'm an angry driver, and it's a really bad habit. I have my good days and my bad. Um, it is something that when I get mad because somebody doesn't properly know how to drive, I regret being mad about it because I don't know what's going. Maybe they're in a hurry because they're going to pick up a sick kid from school or daycare or whatever, or maybe they're trying to go to the doctor themselves, or maybe they're late for work because they were taking care of somebody or whatever. And we have to stop and realize that. And when you, like when Matt was saying, when you go into work and people are stressed out, sometimes you see the worst of people at work because they are stressed out and they're worrying about what's going on at their house. They're worrying at what's going on with their kids or their parents or their how they're going to make their rent, how they're going to buy groceries, how they're going to pay their medical bills, all these other things. And so when you see them stressed out at work and they don't want to talk to you or whatever, I'm not saying go try to change the world with their life. I'm just saying if you stop and say, "Hey, how's it going?" or "Hey, you want to go take a break?" or anything like that. At night, I most of my night I spend it with one other person, and I've gotten to know that person pretty well, and I know when they're having a good day or a bad day, and there's times when both of us just will get off the phone and it'll be just really stressful phone calls, and we just turn around and just like have to laugh because that's all you can do, and it makes a big difference to say, you know what, okay, we're just gonna keep going, and what fun disaster are we gonna run into next? And I'm grateful that person has somebody in their life now that they care about and cares about them enough that they have somebody to go home to, and I hope that that person treats them as well as Madison treats me, because Madison hears a lot about my job, all the time. so, um, Madison could probably tell you my whole job every day, because Madison gets to hear the play-by-play. But seriously, just make time for people. You don't have to become everybody's best friends, but you do need to care about other people. So, I think that's something that all of us need to do because not everybody in the world is as blessed as I think I am for having the spouse that I do, for having the life that I do, the parents that I do, the job that I have. Because I love my job. It's stressful, and there's days where I want to yell at the wall, even. Um, but I'm very grateful for the job that I have because it allows me to live the life with the best person in the whole wide world and take care of the coolest dogs in the whole wide world, which I'm really disappointed that all of four of you are sleeping at the moment and are just not interested in showing yourselves.
In the bed.
Yeah, only one of them is sleeping in the actual bed. The others are on pillows. Our bedroom floor is mostly pillows and dog beds. Like you kind of have to weave your way. Dog toys. You never know what you're gonna step on. It's dangerous to walk through pretty much our whole house because there's dog toys everywhere. My dog Huxley likes to take toys up and down the stairs with him as an adventure, and you just pray that you don't step on a toy and trip going down the stairs because that would never be fun. Anyway, so this has been a really kind of crazy, yeah, all over the place live, but this has been really fun. Anything else that you would like to say, the man behind the camera?
Yeah, we meandered out of my comfort zone.
Oh, we meandered out of your comfort zone. Well, we could go back into your comfort zone. What would you like to talk about? No, it is getting late. We should probably probably take care
We
of.
should do this more often.
We should do this more often. We will do this more often. It's been fun. So, and maybe next time you guys can see the pups. Huxley, you're not gonna say hi to everyone? No? Okay.
The girl on the couch and the boy behind the couch.
You got the girl on the couch and the boy behind.
Just have two little eyeballs sticking out the
We'll get you a sock puppet.
puppet.
We'll get you a little sock puppet.
She-Rex.
She-Rex, yeah, She-Rex. We'll introduce you guys to She-Rex one day. That's a fun story.
Yeah, she got
So.
retired.
She did. We should bring her out.
Yeah.
We'll bring her out for YouTube. We'll bring She-Rex out for YouTube. You guys will enjoy her. So, but we're gonna jump off here, guys. It's been super fun talking to all of you. I appreciate all of you who are dropping in. If you are new and you are interested in content, we aren't always this disorganized. I put out ASMR content a few nights a week, faith videos every day, dog videos usually on the weekends, and a little fun random trucking stuff in between. So I appreciate all of you who do follow my channel. You guys are family to me. We care about you a lot. You get talked about a lot.
Yes, you do.
You do. I talk about people all the time. If you have a channel and you follow me, I try to support back as best I can. And I do appreciate you guys. And as I started this video, I'm praying for everybody that's been affected by the hurricane that came landfall here in the United States. But there's so many other people in this world that need prayer and need to be prayed for. So I want to close this live out with a prayer for everyone. If you do need a prayer request, I put out a video every Sunday inviting you to ask me for whatever you need prayed for. But feel free on any of my videos to comment if you are in need of a prayer, or feel free to reach out privately to my email, which is fracturechristian@gmail.com. So thank you again, guys, for stopping in, and we will close in prayer, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Heavenly Father, we come to you now to thank you for this amazing time, which has been really awesome, and I appreciate everybody that has been here. But at this time, I would like to ask that you just show your love, kindness, compassion, and support for all of creation, God. You know how much suffering we as humans have caused ourselves in this world, and there's just so much going on in so many places throughout the world. So many people that need to feel your love, God. And if you would just reach out and show them how much you care for them, how much they matter to you as your children, and help anyone and everyone who is struggling through whatever they are struggling with, weather disasters, war, being away from family, illness, financial difficulties, just life in general, and let people know that you do love them no matter what. And we pray this in your Son's holy name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we will do this again very soon. Have a blessed night and take care of yourselves.